It's educating and exciting, solution-driven show. Welcome to Youth Engage.
Youth Engage, showing on Salvation TV.
Hello, my name is Mark Miracle, and it's an awesome privilege to welcome you on today's episode of Youth Engage Show on Salvation TV. Today, we are talking about the power of the electorate. Election is a central feature of every democratic system, and democracy in this sense connotes a system of government where the people periodically select their representative at the local, state, and the federal government level. And lucky enough today, we have someone from the Independent National Electoral Commission in the person of Mr. Godfrey Okocha. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Mark.
The topic of discussion today is very pivotal and important one in the country we are today, Nigeria, and some other African countries. I would want you to introduce the show by telling the viewers what we mean by the electorate and the power of the electorate, sir.
Thank you very much, Mark. What it means by power in a simple manner is just your PVC. That's the power. And then the electorate is the individual. Just for an instance, if I had my card here now, I would have shown you. That's my power. Then that means I am the man that is having the card, so I am the electorate. I have the right to vote.
Yeah.
My power is that my PVC that I have
Yes.
to exercise my franchise.
Yes.
That's what the power of electorate means. It doesn't really mean that you must be a muscular person or somebody that is at the place of authority, but your power is your PVC.
Apart from having the PVC and identifying it as with the electorate as his or her power, is there any other thing attached that is like a right or privilege to every electorate in the country?
Yes, that's your PVC is your right. And for you to get that PVC, you must attain the age of 18. You must be a Nigerian. And whenever you need to have that PVC, you need to register around where you reside so that it will be easy for you to identify the closest polling unit for you to exercise your franchise.
During election, they give us several promises to do this and that. Our PVC is always centered on the power to vote and not the power to always question them, the question they elected when they are found wanting in the office.
Well, that's I won't digress too much because when they're already in the office, that's politicking. We are going into politics, and I'm not talking about when they're in the office. But as a Nigerian, I still have a little say. When you cast your vote, go to your polling center or polling unit, cast your vote, and you go home. Now, these people, when they come up during their campaigns, they make a lot of electionary promises. And most of them don't adhere to it. They don't work towards it. You know, the issue is this, is because we, the Nigerians, or more especially the youths, we are good in somebody bringing stipends to you and you collect. And then by the time you collect that stipend and vote or cast your vote to the wrong person, and you don't expect the person to do what you want because he or she feels that he has bought that your vote from you. So he or she can decide not to come back to you to do any of the promises or any of the things that he or she has promised to fulfill it, but rather to enrich him or herself and go home.
In most developed countries, I think there are several policies put in place where the people can actually go for their rights, demand that the people that are representing them do what is needful. But in some parts of Africa and the underdeveloped countries, you see the politicians turning the political offices to family and personal enterprise, not doing what is the needful, not doing what they promised to do when they get to these places. But I will ask, what would you suggest as a person to be done, or what policy do you suggest to be put in place to make sure that these electorates get their political dividends?
Mark, like I said before, we are going into politics. I'm not a politician. I'm not a politician, so we can't go into politics because what they're talking about is when a politician attends an office
Yes.
and they begin to play their politics. And I'm not a politician. So if we can't leave that, if we can leave this aspect of the politicking and talk about anything that has to do with the electoral commission, then I can talk more on that. Because when once a politician gets into an office, I'm sorry, it's just an individual thing, but like I said before, we're moving into politics and I'm not a politician.
Okay, when we return back, the INEC is known to have the responsibility of registering voters. They are also known to have the responsibility of registering political parties, counting of votes, and for sure, announcing results. But how else can the INEC, what policies can be put in place to make sure that they don't always ensure that the voting goes well, but also that the voters have the right to demand that the ones voted keep to their promises? I know every question has an answer, and let's see if we can get this answer. Let's take a short break.
Love is the compeller of greatness. You only become a profitable statesman when your life is contribution driven. Your struggle for statesmanship can be terminated by the simple element called love. Love is the basis for nation building. Demonstrating Love for Your Nation by David Ibiomi teaches you the simplicity of love and how to become a statesman through nation building. Get his book at the Knowledge Center of Salvation Ministries and leading bookstores worldwide. You can call +234 809 521 6466 or visit our website at www.smhos.org/store to order this book today. You cannot succeed in a nation you do not love.
Welcome to Youth Engage.
Youth Engage, showing on Salvation TV.
Hello, you're welcome back from that short break. Virtually in all the democratic states, citizens are always educated on how to cast their ballot. But to cut it short, these citizens are never educated on how to demand of their rights, how to make sure that the elected keep to their promises. And I want to ask our guest once again, can you suggest any practical way you think that the commission, INEC itself, can inculcate to also make sure that the same way these citizens are educated on how to carry out their ballot, how to vote, they are also educated on how to follow up these ones that are representing them?
Mark, the education of the elect or the electorate, that's one responsibilities of INEC.
Yeah.
And it's a major one. In fact, if I have to tell you the function of INEC or functions of INEC, that should be number one.
Yes.
The INEC does not joke when it comes to educating the electorate. I personally have been on radio on several occasions. I've been on radio program with Ankyo Briggs. I've been on radio program Wazobia 92.3. I've been to Radio Rivers. We do it often. We educate people, tell you these are your powers, these are your responsibilities, these are the things you need to do. You need to attend 18 years, you need to get your voter's card, and then you need to vote. These are part of INEC responsibilities,
yes.
Educating the people,
yeah.
to let them know that this is your right. You have the right to exercise your franchise,
yeah.
So that you don't sit down at home and then talk a lot. And in the end, you begin to say, oh, this person is, no, Mr. A, we just voted him, he's not good. And meanwhile, you didn't cast your vote.
Yes.
So INEC go a long way to really educate people about the electoral
Can we,
processes.
sorry to cut you short, can we speak as Nigerians now? Now we have sweet-mouth politicians. Of course, INEC is the only machinery that stands between the electorate and the elected. I don't know if there's any other machinery that stands between us and the ones elected. My question is, this machinery is doing quite a lot of nice job to educate us on how to cast our ballot.
Yeah.
What I am asking as a Nigerian, Can you speak or suggest or proffer solution on how the government will come up with policies whereby the electorate themselves can also be able to call back, and it's called the power of recall, to call back these ones that are elected when they are taking these offices as personal business?
Mark, you know, INEC is an organization
Yes.
that was created under the law,
Yes.
1999 Constitution, to be
Yes.
precise. Now, under that Constitution, INEC has its limitation. We don't exceed there. So, basically, INEC is just an umpire.
Yeah.
You know, just like teams playing football.
Yes.
There's a referee.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, the winner goes home as a winner.
Yes.
And then the referee cannot go back and ask the person who has won the match, why did you win the match, or why didn't you win the match?
Yeah.
That's the way INEC is. We are constrained. We can't go beyond our limit. Okay? But as a Nigerian,
Yes.
let's be realistic to ourselves. See, the truth be told, one, but if we stop this idea of, I have to collect money from you before I do something for you, then I could be able to say, this thing you're doing is wrong when you're doing it. But we are always used to, you want me to cast vote for you? Give me money. Last time here, there was a lot of vote buying. And that thing was all over the nation. People were selling their rights, selling their franchise. And then tomorrow you still come back to talk on radio. You did this, you did that, and the person is not living to that. Probably the person is trying to recover all the money that he or she has spent by buying votes. Okay? But that apart now. Now, if we come back to Nigeria and say somebody is not doing well, because the politicians, like I said before, they always feel, I use my money to get this.
Yes.
So I don't need
time
to
to
do
get it
this.
back, yeah.
So let me refill my pocket back. And then if I finish filling my pocket and you are my brother, I need to carry you along. I need to carry every other person along. So that by the time we come down from here, everybody will be big. Then we can always talk in Nigeria because we have money, because we are buoyant.
Yeah.
But like Papa will always say, it doesn't last for too long.
Yes.
Now, if you're talking about the process of recall,
Yes.
I sold my vote to you. Like the day I was supposed to cast my vote, from my heart, I said, okay, this Mr. A is who I want to cast the vote for. And then someone just come from Mr. B and say, take this 1,000, give me your card, or give me your vote.
Yes.
And then I change my mind and cast my vote for Mr. B. And then Mr. B wins. Definitely I can't say anything. I can't exercise my right because I collected money from him. That means I've sold out. It's just like birthright, Jacob and Esau.
Yeah.
That means I've sold out. Do you get? And it will be difficult for me now to come out to say, okay, let's recall. But the process of recall of the electorate or a person who has already won the election is purely the business of the electorate.
Purely the business.
Yes, of the electorate. They will initiate it. They will write to INEC, look, we don't want so person again who is representing our constituents.
Here, the INEC comes in again to play.
Yes.
Okay, when we return back, how to go about it and what to know more about the power of recall. Let's take a short break. Do stay engaged.
It's educating and exciting, solution-driven show. Welcome to Youth Engage.
Youth Engage, showing on Salvation TV.
You're welcome back from that short break. Mr. Godfrey, can you please educate us on the power of recall?
Well, the power of recall is basically on the electorate. Let me cite an instance, the recent one that happened about Senator Dino Malaya. And the people wrote, there's what we call a memoranda, and the whole lot of consultants will sign against their names and about to tour. And then they will now send to INEC. This man is representing us. He's not doing well. We don't want him anymore. We want to recall him. And then when this thing gets to INEC, INEC will investigate. INEC won't just come and say, okay, fine, Dino, we are recalling you because your people said come back. No. INEC will investigate. If he had followed that process of Dino Malai, you will find out that INEC, after investigation, came back to his constituency to conduct an election for those who want to recall him. And then we didn't see people again.
Talking about this process, I'm very glad that INEC comes to play a role there again. If INEC was a machinery through which we sent these people there, and you are mentioning now that INEC is still a machinery through which we can recall them, and awareness is only being created on how to vote these people, and awareness is not created on how to record these people. Why and how can we balance this?
Well, I wouldn't agree with you that awareness is not created on how to record these people.
Before elections, you play INEC play jingles on radio station. This is how to vote. This is the finger you use. This is how to handle the ballot box and all the rest. So why not create another jingle after the election? This is how to call them back if they are not doing well.
INEC still does that. We have a voter education unit.
None that I have seen.
Well, maybe that's the one you have not seen. But INEC still has that. We have a voter education unit or department who their responsibility is to educate the people. Their responsibility is to educate the general Nigerians.
Like I say, let's speak I say, I know you are coming from the INEC, but let's speak as a Nigerian now. Not totally saying that you should speak against the commission you work for, but the Nigerians are watching now. Let's speak as Nigerians. So what should be done more to make sure that in as much as we got educated on how to handle the ballot, we should also know how to bring back these elected ones if they are not doing well?
Mark, let me say that if there was no enlightenment from INEC, I'm very sure that the people that did theirs in Kogi wouldn't have known how to do it.
Okay, you know why I ask this question is that if the kind of power and the volume of publicity that is being placed on air during election period is being placed still after the election, these leaders would know that the electorates are being educated. They know how to call us back. So let's be on our toes and do the needful. Don't you think that would help?
Well, like I said, it's just more enlightenment. The truth be told, an average Nigerian young man right now, is always looking out for money.
Do you know why they look out for money?
Tell me.
What are our politicians supposed to do? Why not go there and make policies that will better the economy? For crying out loud, if I am working, I wouldn't come out to take your 5,000 naira to vote for you. If you made policies that makes us refine our natural resources here, which we have a lot of them, if you generate employment, I would be very busy. So these ones are refusing to do this, so that when it gets to election time, election period, all they come to do is to dangle this 5,000 naira to you. And the hungry ones will take it, no matter how much sermon you want to preach. Because they are hungry. They see it as the only opportunity. But the question again is, do we keep selling off our birthright?
That's where I wanted to come in. Mark. Does it mean that there's no more responsible youth? Does it mean that there's no youth that has conscience? Does it mean that somebody cannot come out and say, no, this is me and this is me. Must it always be when you walk up to me and say, oh, this 5,000 naira, just give me this vote now, take this 5,000 naira, and I take it. And before I walk out from where I've collected the 5,000 naira from you, it's gone. Okay? Because I have a lot of things to do with it, and then I can't place my finger on this is what I want to do, or this is a lot of things to do. But the particular need you have right now could be more than 5,000.
Okay.
So why can't I just leave the 5,000 naira and say this I'm doing from my conscience and this is what I want to do?
Okay. When we return back, we will talk about how our electioneering process has been lately. Let's take a short break.
It's educating and exciting, solution-driven show. Welcome to Youth Engage.
Youth Engage, showing on Salvation TV.
Hello, you're welcome back from that short break. Let's get to know, has the Nigerian electoral system improved since independence?
Yes, it has. It has improved.
To what extent?
Well, let me
sir?
say tremendously it has improved.
Okay.
You know, if you recall from 1999, there was nothing like card reader. From 1999, there was nothing like card reader.
It's been questionable.
No, it's not questionable.
It's been questioned even till now.
No, it's not. It's not. The card reader works. It works very well. It has been tested. It works.
How does it work, sir?
Fine. If we have one now, I would have shown you. The card reader is just like where you're operating your phone. Now, if you go to an ATM, you slot in your card. You get all the necessary things. You ask you to input your PIN, then ask you the process if you want to withdraw, if you want to check your deposit, if you want to do transfer and all that stuff.
Sorry, the card reader has your biodata. He has a source to identify your biodata when once you slot in your card, right?
That's why I'm coming now.
No.
Just let me answer.
Okay.
Sorry. Now, if you come with your PVC and then the card reader is on, whether you swap it on top of the card reader, underneath, your informations all will show.
Let's take it bit by bit. If that card reader has the power to show my information,
Yeah.
which means it has my biodata, which
Not
means
like- not-
it has my information. Let me
Yes.
stick to that.
Yes.
Which means at every point where I slot my card reader, it should work as an ATM. Why is it that if it is not the polling station where I registered, my card reader, my voter's card wouldn't work there? Why not make it work like the SIM card we use? You can use it anywhere you are. Since you already have my biodata, can't it be constructed to work in this pattern? We work with the modern technology in this.
I agree with you.
Yes.
But you see, things are done step by step. They're always done. There's always process to everything. Now, INEC, yes, there is a server and all that stuff. But INEC has not gotten to that level, which they are in the process, have not gotten to that level where if you register here, I can go to Lagos and vote with my card.
Can I cut you short, sir?
Yes, sir.
If you are posing that INEC has not gotten to this level, we have institutions in Nigeria that has even exceeded this level. I can go to EcoBank, the next street, register and open an account.
Can I correct
but
something?
go to EcoBank in Lagos
Yes.
or another state
And
with
use
same
it.
card.
Good.
So you can borrow this technology.
Okay, good. Now, can I get something clear?
Yeah.
EcoBank you called, in quote, is a private business.
Yes.
INEC is governmental.
You can borrow this idea.
I'm coming, sir.
Yes.
The idea is there.
Yes.
INEC is governmental.
Yes.
And it goes through a process from one step to another before funds are made available.
Yes.
And if these funds are not made available, that process cannot go through. If you listen very well, each time we're going into electionary process, especially the pre-election process, that's by making our fund for all the printing, maybe registration, from registration to printing of permanent voters card, from permanent voters card to preparation of the election proper and post-election proper.
Yeah.
There is always budget
Yes.
to be presented
Yes.
and to be defended.
Yes.
And during that, you see that most times the budgets too are cut short. And then this process of using this fund for this thing will not be enough. And then INEC is now constrained to use the fund available. And if you're constrained to use the fund available, you use the fund to attend to the issue, the immediate needs, which is the process of that electionary process that is ongoing already. Then after that, you can now come back and begin to say, okay, let's go back and see how we can get this. But let me tell you the truth, my brother. See, we are talking as Nigerians.
Yes.
It's not as if INEC cannot do this. But those who are politicking in Nigeria, we don't want it. If we're talking about now, okay, fine, we're all Nigerian. If we come back, especially the youth, and say, man, we are sick and tired of advanced men taking charge of this country without no new innovations.
Yes.
We can bring them down as Nigerians.
That is one major core and one major focus of the youth engagement.
That's what I'm telling you. We can bring them down as Nigerians, as youths. Well, come on.
Peacefully.
These people, peacefully. It's not fighting. These people don't have anything upstairs anymore. They're advanced. They're going. And all they need is just to amass and walk away.
To close the show, because time is not
That's
really a
it.
friend again. Can you just give us 3 major things you think a youth should do to bring these octogenarians down and take over the polity? Just 3, and we close the show.
Well, one, I will advise, first of all, that every Nigerian, should stay out of trouble.
Okay?
What I mean by that is stay out of violence. It's never the solution to anything.
Yes.
2, if you have attained the age of 18, when once INEC starts registration, please, you are advised to go and register. Finally, to the youth watching, I think if we all sit down and then be creative, we can make this nation a better nation than what it is.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
It was indeed an awesome time here at the Youth Engage Show. Pastor David Ibiome said, and I quote, "Lazy people discuss problems, why creative people discuss solution." I am sure you have learned 1 or 2 things in today's episode of Youth Engage Show. My name still remains Mark Miracle, the anchor of Youth Engage on Salvation TV. And you can find our handle scrolling now on the screen if you have any question to send us. And we believe we'll see again next time. Same station. Do stay engaged.
That's why he went to school. So I think the problem is coming from the youth. The people that rule this country, they are still the people today.
It is the youth who know well enough of today that can take charge of tomorrow.